this thing almost surgically implanted on their hand or attached to their hand. Yet, God forbid, they'll actually use the button to dial somebody and talk on it. They'd rather tweet the customer service issue. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a tweet directed at Ford that somebody's sitting in the service center waiting room, 10 feet away from the receptionist, and they complain to us on Twitter. That's the reality of what we're dealing with right now, and that's what we need to be prepared for. Okay? So at Ford, just looking at Facebook for a moment, we've got about 80 different pages that we keep worldwide. Why 80 pages and not just one? Well, I would argue that nobody wants to drink from the fire hose. Nobody wants all of the information that Ford Motor Company shares. There was a website we discovered last year. It's a spoof of the Autoblog type of sites, the Jalopniks, etc. It's called Autoblopnik. Autoblopnik. And in August of last year, they ran a story that said Ford releases 15 millionth press release. And you remember those millionth cars rolling off the Ford assembly line? Well, they chided us for being too press release happy. And it's true. We were just spewing lots of information out there. So translate that over to Facebook, and what does that mean? It means there's a lot of news and information, product information, corporate information, cool behind-the-scenes stuff that we want to share, but we don't want to do it in one place. So we give people choices as to when and how or where they can share our content. We let them decide. And I guarantee you the Mustang owners really aren't interested in our electric vehicles pages. Although some EV people probably have Mustang envy, so they'll probably see it over on the Mustang page. Mustang, by the way, nearing 5 million fans, is the single most liked vehicle on Facebook. We're pretty proud of that. So, I mentioned the Woody Allen theory of social media. There's also a corollary. Does any good theory has a corollary? It's the Yogi Berra corollary. You guys know Yogi Berra? He said a nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. Nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. Well, Yogi would say, it's the other half that's hard. So you got to be there to begin with. But it's what you do when you show up that matters. It's how you make a difference in people's lives. I'll give you a sense as to how this works on a global scale. Because all of those 80 pages or so, and all the other associated accounts and approaches that we take as a company, we want consistency. We want to make sure that wherever people are meeting us, you should think about this for your own purposes too, that there's a consistent experience. Okay? So, what do we need to actually put together a social media strategy? First of all, we have to have strong products. No question about that. And that's what the One Ford plan is all about. 6 years ago, when Alan Lally came in, he put the One Ford plan together. He said, look, we've been doing this wrong for too long. We've had, all these separate business units in Asia Pacific, and Europe, and the Americas. Let's work together. Let's have a global center of excellence for engineering, and for design, and for marketing, and all these things. Let's combine our resources. And when we build a car, let's make sure that it is consistent wherever people go. They're not going to get the extra special focus over in Europe and not here. Let's make it universal. And we took out a $23.5 billion home improvement loan in September of '06. And we poured it into R&D and into design to make our plan work. We financed the plan. So that was the first step. So you got to have strong products. And those are rolling out. I don't know if any of you have seen the 2013 Fusion. I just pulled it in one. It is a phenomenal car. I've been at Ford for 4 years now. It's the best Ford I've ever driven. Why? Because it's part of this One Ford plan. The second thing we need to do, at least in our view, is we're creating our social media strategy, is have behind-the-scenes access, letting them be the first to know certain information, giving them something that maybe reaffirms a worldview that they have, or maybe it contradicts it, and you engage them in a thoughtful dialogue. Maybe you give them something that makes them smile for the day. Maybe you give them something that makes them look like the smartest person in their peer set when they share your content. How are you providing value to them? And a lot of what that means is, and I'll get into this in a little bit, is that we're approaching it from the consumer's point of view, from the customer's point of view. Yeah, I know we have things that we want to announce, we want to share, but what are we doing? Remember, they don't trust us. They don't have time. What are we doing to provide value to them within that construct? We're giving them something that makes their life easier. Right? Something that, all right, if they are taking the time out of their lives and spending it with us, even if it's 2 minutes, we're returning that to them in spades. We need to speak like that. How many people here have heard the phrase, we regret any inconvenience you may have experienced? Who talks like that, really? That's a press release, so that's a lawyer getting into your script. What do we say? We say, I'm sorry to hear that. How can I help? Our customer service team is great about that, about speaking the language that other people speak. And ultimately, we need to let them speak. All of these platforms that they're on right now, that we engage with them on, it's two-way dialogue. It's not us just pushing stuff at them. It's us sharing content, obviously, but it's us listening to what they have to say. And that last part, that listening, is so important. It's bigger than the others, because I'll bet everybody here had a grandmother who at one time told them, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, use them in that proportion. Listening is what's going to allow us to create the great products, to know what content is resonating with our fans and what's not, to how they're sounding and what they're saying to us. It's a whole cycle. It works. And done right, it should be able to inform us and allow us to improve our processes and our products and our service over time. So this is one of my all-time favorite marketing quotes. If you wish to persuade me, you must think my thoughts, feel my feelings, and speak my words. It's a great tweetable quote. It fits 140 characters, I guarantee you. If you wish to persuade me, you must think my thoughts, feel my feelings, and speak my words. And you know who said this? Not Seth Godin, not Zig Ziglar, not even Jim. The Roman orator Cicero, 2,000 years ago, said this. And you think about how far we've come as a society. The technological advances that we've seen. It's amazing the progress we've made. But at the end of the day, we still want the same things that we've always wanted as humans. We want what's in it for us and the people we care about, obviously. We want to connect with other people. We want to have some meaningful connection in the world. And frankly, I think we want to come together to make a difference in the world. And it could be through our own families and leaving a lasting legacy. It could be, you think about what's happened over the course of the last couple of years with the Arab Spring, Occupy Wall Street, people banding together for a greater purpose. And maybe you're getting people to band together for a fun campaign, and for their 15 minutes of fame. People love to see their name up in lights. You know, Andy Warhol said in the future we'll have 15 minutes of fame. I think the way things are going right now, in the future we'll all have 15 minutes of privacy, frankly. But it's a reality. It's the reality that we're dealing with today. And more people are out there sharing parts of their lives. And if you're attuned to it, and you're thinking and speaking and feeling like them, they're going to be more open to engaging with you and hearing what you have to say. car we were planning to launch here in the United States in 2009 was the first car as our foray into the One Ford plan. And we knew that, looking at the data, that we couldn't rely on a traditional old-style, old media campaign. This wasn't one where we could just do television advertising and print and be done with it. For our message to have credibility, it would have to relate to what millennials want. They were interested in doing stuff with us and engaging with us along the way, looking at things that are entertaining and creating content. And the very idea of the Fiesta movement in 2009 was the notion that we could feature the very people that we were trying to reach. We could make them the stars. It was crafted very straightforward. Basically, gave them cars and allowed them to do all the things they want to do. Create and share the message. Give feedback to our engineers. That was a really mind-blowing part, where they actually gave feedback to us and told us what they wanted to see in the car, what improvements they wanted to see. And while it wasn't enough time to actually get it into production for the first round of the Fiesta, their feedback actually made it into the second round. The way that the seats adjusted and installing an armrest for the U.S. version, which they didn't really require or need in the European version. It's great feedback. And we heard it directly from the people that mattered. So we gave 100 participants 100 cars for 6 months. We gave them unique missions, one mission a month. All they had to do throughout the course of the 6 months was create one video a month. 6 videos, that's all they had to do. And these 100 people were spread across the United States. Some were really adept at video creation. Some were excellent photographers and still are to this day. Keep sharing their content with us. And then they would do what they naturally did. They openly shared their lives with everybody. And all we had to do then was to take it and put it on our site. Real time, unscripted, unedited, untouched by Ford. What real people were saying. So who do you trust? Someone like me. And if we didn't find somebody out of those 100 individuals who matched with some demographic that we were trying to reach, then we did a poor job in recruitment. But we let them have their say. And the public would interact then with these ambassadors and would ask them their opinion of the vehicle. Great feedback. And they were completely candid about it. And I'll tell you, one of the things that a lot of eyebrows are raised around the halls of Ford is that, can we actually get away with this? Are we confident of what they'd say with an experience in our vehicle? And I can tell you that we were. Why? Because we worked the plan, the One Ford plan, to create strong products. We knew we had those products to share with people, and that it was an exciting and different Ford than they assumed Ford was. And a lot of what we were doing was not only trying to build awareness in this early stage of the launch campaign, but it was actually trying to rescue Ford's reputation. I'm sure you've heard the acronyms. Found on the road dead, fix or repair daily,